This is the Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. And by Anderson Hospital, a Newsweek World's Best Hospital. Now, the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Always good to be with some of my favorite people. We have Bernie Miklas, we have Chris Ranji, we have producers Matt Pajeski and Drew Young, and the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, Oli Marmol, is with us. Our conversation with Oli is sponsored by Simon Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. The Gashouse Gang is live. Hello, Oli.
How we doing?
Doing great. You know, I was looking over the schedule over the last 2 months. You have not lost a Monday game. We have gone into the Gashouse Gang winning club every single time. You have not lost a Monday game since June.
That's my main goal, to come on here after a win. It makes things a little bit easier.
I started thinking about it after the win yesterday. I'm like, when's the last time they lost a game going into the Gashouse Gang?
That recency effect is huge, man. I love that.
That's something.
That's a good one.
So congrats on the win. It was a good, solid win, wasn't it? Across the board, you got the pitching you wanted out of Libby, maybe a little bit better, obviously, than what you had seen, and offensively, you broke out.
Yeah, and I said it post game. That's more of the identity we need to create offensively. When you don't have a club that hits a ton of homers, you just have to be able to play the game and take what's given. You're going to hit homers from time to time, but I just loved our approach yesterday. We piled up the hits. We took our hits through the opposite side, and took our walks as well. So it was good. It was nice to see Gorman left on left there, add on with the 2-run homer. But yeah, we did a lot of things well yesterday.
Oli, I wanted to talk to you about one of the things going into the series, especially the Brendan Donovan injury situation.
Yeah.
Contreras, I kind of understood because this was kind of a separate injury, not related to anything he had. You know, he got hit by a pitch, but Donnie's been beat up for quite a while. And the way you guys have explained it, or the way he's explained it, all of those injuries are somehow related because he's compensating for the previous injury. So my point is, his numbers since the start of June have been way down, really down since the All-Star break. Wouldn't it have been better just to put him on the IL simply to give him a chance to heal so he can come back and be fresh and probably feel a lot better? Because he's a great competitor. We all know that. But have you given much thought to just shutting it down for a while to let him heal?
Yeah, but that's not what your best players do. I mean, I can't tell you how many times Nato has played through stuff, and Goldie and Yachty, and you go down the line. Like your best competitors like being on the field, and they play through some aches and pains. Sitting here now, yeah, once you see the numbers, you go, okay, could he have gone on the IL earlier? Sure, but you got to trust your players, and when they say I'm good enough to go and I want to stay in there, you have to respect that. So we've sat down several times to make sure that's the case, and he continued to reiterate that he can go. We gave him that 3-day break to see if he could improve, and it just wasn't enough. He was going to need probably double that. So at that point, you can backdate it. And he loses 1 extra day compared to if we would have done it initially going into that Yankee series. So, yeah, we tried our best to keep him on the field. But at the end of the day, your players that are honest and communicate clearly and you can trust, you have to do exactly that. You got to trust them.
Can I just to follow up? And I think you and I know each other better than – I'm not trying to be flip. I'm not trying to be disrespectful here. But isn't it part of a manager's job sometimes to kind of protect a player from himself? Because, yeah, Brendan Donovan's never going to ask out of the lineup, but sometimes maybe the manager knows best.
Yeah, if you have something better below that you feel comfortable playing, then sure. So part of it is taking your best shot. And up till now, we took our best shot, and then you start to read the room a little bit. And but up till now, we were going to take our best shot, and anything that was going to replace him was not going to be nearly as good at what we feel Donovan's capable of doing, even when he's not 100%. So if we had depth, absolutely, we don't.
Yeah, and I want to kind of continue that injury conversation because it's more of it seems to be more of an older school approach that no matter what you had, you're just going out there and you're going to play. And I know guys who had gotten really serious injuries because they tried to pitch through stuff. They wanted to be there for their team. and it ended up working against them. Do you think players now are better about being honest about how they feel so they don't feel like they're letting somebody down or, they're going to lose their job to injury?
It depends on the player. That's why when I said it earlier, like you got to know who you're dealing with and the fact that you can trust them and they're going to be honest and not just tell you they're good in order to stay in the lineup. So he communicates clearly. We knew exactly what he was dealing with. And if we thought it was going to put him at jeopardy, then we wouldn't have done it. But if he says he can go and he's one of your main guys, I can't tell you how many guys are in the lineup right now that, trust me, you can also say, let's put him on the IL. You run out of players. So I hear you, but this is one where, no, I don't look back at it and go, man, I wish we would have rested him earlier while we were taking our best shot to stay in this thing. Like that's not one that comes to mind.
And when you say stay in this thing, tell us your mindset right now. I mean, you're still, as a club, we all know what this season was about. This season was about seeing what you could get out of your young players and your players overall for the future. But when you say stay in this thing, what is your mindset right now? Trying to go out there and climb back into this?
No different than before. And I'm not just saying that. You have to continue to develop these guys, but you're taking your best shot every night. Like there's not a night you go out there and you're not trying to win, or these guys are not taking their best shot to put themselves in a position to win. So yes, there's a lot of development and growth taking place. There's games where there's a lot of youthfulness and you have to use it at teaching moments and not get frustrated as you want to get sometimes, but you're still trying to win as many games as possible. And tonight's no different.
Oli, let's talk about a success story with one of your younger players. His last 51 games, Nolan Gorman's got the highest weighted runs created plus on the team. He leads the team in OPS, slugging, walk rate, which is a great sign. And right on down the line, and you mentioned, he's even, gotten some shots in against left-handed pitchers, but what is this is real progress in my eyes. So what is it that has changed? What is he doing better, or what has he figured out?
It is a big improvement, and this is one of the guys we were talking about a month ago where this wasn't the case, right? So he is controlling the strike zone better. He is taking his walks when he needs to, and he's impacting the baseball. You can be pretty direct with Gorman and have a conversation as to, hey, here's what we're seeing, here's where you're at. And he's done a much better job of communicating his thoughts and how he's feeling with Brownie. And I think they're getting to a point where we're seeing some real progress. They spent a lot of time together in Arizona this offseason as well. And things just didn't start the way we would have liked. There was some tinkering and not feeling comfortable with what he was early in the season. Right now, I think he's in a good spot, not only with his swing, but with his approach. Like yesterday, he pulls that one, but they made him pull it. Like it was a pitch to do that with. But we've also seen him go the other way and take his singles and not try to do too much. And I think he's got such easy power, man. Like this is a guy, you watch him hit BP and the ball just flies off his bat and it's effortless. So his ability to not try to do more than he has to is key. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that where it's just free and easy, but the ball's still jumping.
Just a quick follow-up. Yeah. What's interesting about it, I was diving into numbers this morning, and some of the stuff in there that were not as good as it was early in the season. Like, for example, he's more aggressive. He's swinging at more pitches. So there's a little more swing and miss, things like that.
Yeah.
But once he sort of has figured out which pitches to go after, is it okay to be a little overly aggressive?
Yes, especially if passivity puts you in a spot where you feel in between. And that's the best way I can describe it. Like, would you want a better combination of being aggressive just in the zone, lower the swing and miss? Yes. But if it puts you in a spot where, and this is a conversation with Burleson prior to him starting to take some walks, he's like, man, I feel like I have to be on go. And if I tell myself like, no, like make sure that I'm in between, I'm late on pitches, I should be driving, and it just gets me in a bad spot. So, if it eliminates some of the passive mindset and allows him to feel like he can be on go, then I'll take the trade-off.
Another younger player who's been really impressive, in particular in the field, is Mason Wynn. And if you look at the StatCast numbers, he's been the best shortstop in baseball.
Yes.
He's been terrific. And so I figured that if I ask you, should he win the Gold Glove, you're going to say yes. But if he doesn't win the Gold Glove, how much of a travesty would that be?
He's the best shortstop in the game. He should win that thing. I mean, this guy makes unbelievable plays all over the field and balls that other guys don't get to. He's not only getting to, but his arm allows him to complete the play. You look at that one up the middle the other day where he throws as he's falling back. I mean, he's got enough arm strength to finish that play. He makes the routine play, but he's also, it's good and it's under control. Internal clock is incredible. There should be some hardware there.
He needs a nickname like to Bernie's hat right there.
Well, that is the wizard.
That is the
Yes.
wizard right there.
That is I had to buy that one, man.
Mason needs some sort of nickname. But what about Mason's ceiling offensively?
It's high.
I'm hearing from you that it is high.
I'm really high on him for a lot of reasons because he's got some killer to him, and that's a great trait to have, especially when you're young and you already see it in his eyes. Offensively, he's having a good year, and it's better because he's no longer just trying to impact the baseball pool side. He's taking his hits. He's picking his spots as to when to do that and when just to take what the game is giving him. And I love that because that allows him to be more of a winning player. But the ceiling, as far as what he's capable of doing, is super high. There's still a big gap there, and I'm really excited as to what this is going to look like several years from now because he's a heck of a player, man.
Looking at some recent trends, I'm shaking my head because Pedro Pages has been just killing it. And with those kind of things, I always wonder, it's a natural question. It's a relatively short stretch of games. He has struggled a lot offensively, but does a guy like him, in your opinion, have more upside offensively than maybe the rest of us see?
Yes. And we've seen glimpses of it. I'm not saying he's going to be an 800 OPS guy, but the ability to still help you win offensively and take productive at bats and make productive outs at times because he has an idea of what he's trying to do with the bat. He's got good hand-eye, and at the end of the day, when you look at his lower half, he was doing this little sway thing early on that allows him to feel like he's on time. He eliminated it in order to kind of remove all wasted movement, and it put him, again, to the term I used earlier, just a little bit in between. So he sat down with Brownie, added it back, but eliminated some other stuff that allowed him to be more direct to the ball over the last couple of weeks. And we're seeing the benefits of it because he has his timing, he has his rhythm with his lower half. He feels comfortable, but still effective. It's fine if you're comfortable with something. If it's not effective, then who cares? But he's found a nice balance of, man, there's some comfort in the way I sway with my lower half. It gets me on time. I feel like I have some rhythm to it, but I'm still direct to the ball with what my upper body's doing, the path to the ball. So they're striking a good balance right now. We just have to hold it with it.
What about Jordan Walker's progress? I know we've spent a lot of time all season talking about him and sort of up and down, and then there was a lot of encouraging stuff there. Do you still feel that way about him where we are getting, toward the end of August?
Yeah. And if you would ask me 2 months ago, I would have said it with a little bit less confidence, if I'm being honest. But I think we're in a much better spot because he's starting to be a little bit more vulnerable about, here's how I'm really feeling. Here's how I'm thinking about the game. Here's where I get sped up. And you're able to make a lot more progress when you're honest with where you're truly at. And he's communicating really well, not only with me, but with our hitting department. And they've been able to make some changes that is leading to more consistency. So I do feel better about where we're at there and where we're headed. There's still a lot of growth, but it's headed in the right direction. So yes, I'm optimistic.
Really is something to hear that not only you working with different players, but you work with different personalities, and you have to know who gives feedback, who doesn't, and read that as a manager. We'll take a break.
Sure.
We'll come back. It is the Gashouse Gang on KMOX with Oli Marmol, Bernie Miklasz, Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. We're back right after this.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who is likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp, kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend. Oh, my Bob!
Total Information AM, weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We are back on the Gashouse Gang with Bernie Miklasz, Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. We're pleased to be joined by Oli Marmol for a second segment, Cardinals manager. Conversation with him sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center, National Leaders in Cancer. We have comments that have been coming in like crazy. Look at Ken. He said, long time KMOX listener listening in via YouTube for the first time. If Bernie can, so can I. Well, good for you, Ken.
What does that mean? If he can figure out YouTube? Is that what that
he
means?
figured it out. Bernie figured it out. He can figure it out.
Hey, Bernie, I like when they take shots at you.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, man. I tell you what, I think your email, the people that get through to you, I think it would be a lot tougher on you than me, but oh, gosh almighty.
I can read them off if you like.
Oh, man.
You know, it's one of those things. It's like if you're positive about the Cardinals, like, oh, they must be paying you money. Well, there you go. You're making excuses for it. Of course, if you say anything remotely negative, it's like, why do you hate the Cardinals so much? So yeah, it's a lot of that. It's fun though.
Oh,
I love people that support me. I even say in my videos, hey, rip away. It's okay. Just blast away. No problem.
You ever gotten an insult, Oli, that is just so good that you're impressed by it instead of upset?
So sometimes during rain delays, what we do is I'll have Packy Elkins. He's part of our game planning on the hitting side. We'll just sit in the coach's room and he'll open up Twitter and search my name and he'll just start reading them off one by one. And some of them it's entertaining and some of them are pretty good, man.
Didn't Jimmy Kimmel do that or somebody?
Oh, the mean tweets.
Yeah, the mean tweets.
Yeah. Really funny.
Like that.
Really funny.
I enjoy it.
There's some clever ones out there, but there's some mean ones too.
Yeah.
Oli, I wanted to ask you this. Ken Rosenthal wrote a story.
Sure.
He interviewed you on Friday. I found it to be very Gashouse Gang-esque, if I may. I mean, you were very open and honest, and just like you are on this show. I asked John Mozeliak on Sunday, as I have him on every week, about you and about your growth as a manager, and he, of course, backed you. He said, ultimately, it's not my decision to make anymore, but he did say that he's a big supporter of you. I felt my impression of the story of Ken and just you overall, very comfortable in your skin, in your position, and that has been a personal growth for you, hasn't it, in terms of being the manager of this club and a leader? What do you think about your future as it pertains to managing this club?
I don't think about it a whole lot, and I even said it to Ken, like that may sound like it's not genuine or it's not true, but I don't, man. I'm really focused on making sure that my staff feels supported and loved on. These players, no different. That everyone feels like they're backed, and I show up every day with that being the goal in mind. So when it comes to what's next, or like in my opinion, it's a waste of time to kind of try to think through that, or to even worry about it, if you want to use that term. It's just it's not something that I spend a whole lot of time on. So I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm not, and I'm comfortable with all of it.
And if I could follow up, is you've said
Sure.
your relationship with Chaim Bloom has been very good, and as you mentioned in that
He's
conversation, you met with him a lot.
Yeah, he's a good communicator. I feel like he's has a really good understanding of just the people part of this and the process part of it as well. But those conversations have been really good, from spring training all the way through today. So yeah, that's been a positive. He's done a really nice job of also including my entire staff, of just meeting with them one-on-one, and getting an idea of who they are as people and not just coaches. So that's all part of the process. But yeah.
I don't want to, continue that, because I thought the interview was great. You were feisty. You were honest and feisty, which I thought was really good too. You were throwing some nasty words around. I like that, when the athletic has to kind of like, use those. What's the word? Use those little hyphens.
Yeah.
To redact some words. Anyway,
I don't remember these, but go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm going to get really nosy here. It probably won't go over very well, but I got to try. Given the rapport that you've established with Chaim Bloom, and by the way, for the record, I've said it a million times, I have no reason to believe that you won't be back in 2026. I believe you will be back. I don't know for sure, but that's what I believe. But given the relationship you've been building with Chaim Bloom, do you have any feeling whatsoever about him wanting you to be back as the manager? Do you feel good about how your relationship that you're building is creating something that would make it easier to just go ahead and have Oli Marmol in the manager's chair again next season?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a great way of answering this other than I think so. But at the end of the day, man, like, he has to make the best decision for this organization. I know where I stand with my staff and with the players, and I'm comfortable with that. So for me, again, and I'm not just trying to skate around this. It's something I don't pay a ton of attention to. Like, I know what I bring to the table. I'm confident in what I do every day. But from what should he do like, that's up to Chaim. My relationship with him up to this point has been great. And he'll make the decision that makes the most sense for everybody moving forward.
So I know you do a lot of self-evaluation, and we talk about it a lot on these Tuesdays. So when you look at what is a successful year or a successful tenure managing, it's always different from team to team. A lot of people are going to say, well, it's wins and losses, and that's the end of it. How do you define it, though? How do you define it if you have done a good job here, given
Chris,
everything?
You broke up a little bit at the end there. What was the last thing you said?
I'm asking you if you have, when you look at your tenure here as manager, what do you consider to be successful? Is it just wins and losses? Is it more than that? How do you see it?
It's more than that. It has to be more than that. Gosh darn, any manager I talk to, whether that's Tony or, across the league, guys that have done it and are retired or still in it, it's always more than just the wins and losses. You want to do that at a high level. That's how you stick around for a while. Don't get me wrong. But relationally, you want to make sure that you're making people better and you're bringing value to them on and off the field. And that's for me, man. I want to make sure that when I'm done doing this, whenever that is, it's that I can look back and say that I brought value and made people better. And that's coaches, that's players, that's front office, that's the cooks, that's the writers that either like me or don't like me, that at some point I can have an impact on the lives of those that I'm with every day and feel good about it. But the competitive side, no doubt, man, you throw on that uniform and we spend our entire day just planning to win and game planning to win. So that's the biggest part of it. But I want to make sure that those other things, I don't have any regrets as far as the impact that I had on those that were around me on a daily basis.
Speaking of the comments that we're getting, and I'll have Bernie ask a question after this, but you can't avoid some of these that are coming in, like Nick. There were multiple people when you started talking about Donovan, when Bernie asked you, we're asking about JJ. And obviously this is something that is not decided by you, but your thoughts on JJ Weatherholt, where he is right now. And the comment here is that he just needs to get his feet wet.
Sure. There's different opinions on that. The only thing I can say is he's one of the most impressive players I've been around at his age in spring training setting. The way he handled all of it was incredible. My conversations with him, he's got a winning attitude. He's competitive. He's calm. He's comfortable in his own skin, doesn't need anybody's approval. I mean, this guy checked a lot of boxes, and he's got some real skill. So would I love to see him? Absolutely. I mean, you're always excited about seeing young talent come up and seeing how they respond to the big leagues. At the end of the day, that's a decision that's made by the front office, and Chaim and Mo are going to have to make that decision, but that's not one that falls on my lap.
Yeah, kind of a related question. What are your early impressions of Nathan Church?
I like him. He's a go-getter. He's not going to scare, and good defender, and he's going to swing the bat okay. Like I like his approach. He has a good understanding of what he's trying to do. He'll take a deep breath here in a little bit and settle in. But I like some of the traits that we're seeing with him in spring training, even when things didn't go his way, man, he carried himself really, really well. So I truly believe he's a winning player, and I'm excited to see a little bit more of him.
Are there players that you have in mind? We talked about Weatherholt, but when you have the September call-ups, are there guys that you're already thinking about that you would like to get a look at?
Again, that's a decision for Mo and those guys to make as far as who they want to see up here and how that plays into next year. And,
do you have much input on that?
Guys. It's a conversation, yes. But at the end of the day, that's a 40-man kind of roster front office decision. Yeah.
This is Bernadette, who's checked in saying she really likes Kyle Leahy. The results recently haven't been great. Is he off limits? What's going on with Leahy?
Yeah, he's off limits for a couple days just because of his usage. When you look at his workload, it's one of the highest in the league from an innings appearance standpoint as a reliever. The reason for it is we've used him for multiples a lot. And our goal is to continue to use him that way. In a perfect world, he's got 2 days off, can give you multiples, give him 2 to 3 days off, can give you multiples rather than kind of up in the appearance per inning column. So that's the way we're thinking about using Leahy moving forward, but he's done a really nice job. We just have to kind of make sure that we continue to monitor that closely. Yeah.
I want to ask you about one of your young relievers, and I'm not trying to give him a job, but I wonder if Matt Swanson has got the stuff that you look at him and say, yeah, that guy could be a closer. Not that you're giving him the job, but does he have closers type stuff?
I'd like to see more. I think it's too early to make that call. I like how he's handled leverage up to this point. In that closer role, you want to see some real swing and miss. Less ball in play is a good thing. But he's done a really nice job of being on the attack, not being sped up, and just controlling the tempo of the game. There's only been a few times where I feel like the game kind of got a little quick on him, and he still was able to kind of settle in. So I like what we've seen up to this point. I like to see more before having to answer that question. Yeah,
sure.
Oli, this is sort of a bigger picture question about baseball, because there's been a lot of talk since Sunday about potential realignment in the sport, maybe a redoing of the divisions, because there are probably going to be 2 additional teams, Nashville or Portland or Charlotte, whatever it is. Would you be in favor of that? Do you like the idea of realignment, even if it's aggressive realignment where teams are jumping from one league to the other?
Gosh, I'm trying to get Walker to hit. I haven't given this a whole lot of thought, Chris. It's not one that's on my radar. I appreciate the question, but I have a hell of a lot on my plate to think about realignment.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
it was a good shot, though.
Yeah, keep working on Walker, then. Get back to us.
The assistant commissioner, Oliver Marmol.
Yeah, fair enough.
I appreciate the question, though.
You know, can I throw something in? I've been reading about this, and they're going to be talking about 4-team divisions, and there was one guy out there that was realigning all these teams. He didn't have the Cardinals and the Cubs in the same division. I'm like, come on, dude.
I think it was Jim Bowden, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You know, that's not going to happen. But anyway, this stuff's fun to talk about, though. It really is.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And just kind of to wrap things up here, we have Cards Marlins tonight. It's a 5:40 start here. Michael McGreevy is going to start for you. We haven't really touched on McGreevy, his development here now that he's made a string of starts for you.
I'm liking it because even as good as he's been, and he's been consistent at what he brings to the table. There's going to be games that don't go his way, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been good. Like just the way he's approaching the days in between, there's some stuff there that you can continue to improve on and tweak and just kind of sharpen a little bit. And what I like the most about him is you can have a real conversation with him, and you don't have to soften it. You can just be very direct, tell him what you see. He's really good at communicating with Dusty and that group. And that's when you see big gains and quicker gains is when you have that style of personality where you can handle that. So I think we're seeing some progress, and we're going to continue to because of the way he approaches the game.
That's the whole players and people I was talking about earlier, you know?
No doubt. No doubt. I agree with that. So
what did you do? What did you do to get ejected Sunday? Somebody was wondering about that.
There's certain things you can say, Bernie, and there's certain things you can't. And I said one of the ones you can't.
Yeah. So how many times have you gone to an umpire and said, you need to throw me out? I'm trying to fire everybody up.
They usually beat me to that.
Okay.
But yes, it was one of those games, man. It was frustrating because it was both ways. I think at the end of the day, the scorecard probably favored us, to be honest with you. But it was one of those where you can't walk Grisham, and two of the pitches are in the zone. And I was already unhappy. It was 104 degrees out, so we let it eat.
Yeah, I think Booney over there was feeling similar.
Yeah, I couldn't let him walk away with the ejection lead as well. So
that's right. That's right. Schulte, I think they tossed Schulte last night before he even came out of the dugout. He was on his way out and got tossed.
Poor Boone last year got ejected for doing literally nothing.
Yeah, that is
some
true.
other guy was yelling and he got blamed for it.
Oh man.
Yes.
Oli, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for being with us. Thanks for doing this, and best of luck tonight against the Marlins.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
Always good to visit with Oli Marmol, Cardinals manager, with us here on KMOX, the Gashouse Gang. We will take a break, but before we do that, I want to tell you all about a new car. If you're in the market for something new, I got one for you. It is Genesis. Genesis of St. Charles will bring the test drive to you, and they are closer than you think. They're at 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway in St. Peters, off Mid-Rivers Mall Drive and I-70. They are the first and only standalone Genesis dealership. A large selection of Genesis models there for you. This is a high-end, state-of-the-art facility, best I've ever been in. And every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet, meaning they deliver the vehicle back to you and give you a loaner. Now, for that matter, you can buy a car online. You can buy it completely online. They'll deliver the car to you. This is Genesis of St. Charles, #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. GenesisofStCharles.com.
The Dave Glover Show.
If you sit down with me and we talk about who I am, what I am, my values, political, voting record, you're never going to walk away and go, that guy's a bleeding heart progressive. I'm just not stupid. And I just don't take bait. And I just don't do things because you tell me to, or that I'm afraid that if I don't, fall in line or get on the bandwagon, people aren't going to like me. Been there, done that for years.
The Dave Glover Show, now on FM 104.1 FM, KMOX.
94 degrees in St. Louis. The AccuWeather Real Feel is 109. That heat advisory in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. The weather brought to you by Financial and Tax Strategies.
It's never too early to start thinking about your retirement journey, and it's never too late either. You just need to know that the steps may look a little different. Listen to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
It's the greatest pop rock of the 60s and 70s. The Happy Together Tour 2025 with the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, Little Anthony, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, the Vogues, and the Cowsills. This Thursday night, the Family Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Get ready for BTO live in concert. Bachman Turner Overdrive with special guests April Wine and Zebra. Roll on down the Highway 2025 tour. Saturday, August 30th, the Family Arena, a night of vintage BTO. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum, Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros, just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at Missouri Broadcasters.org.
It's the annual KMOX Blood Drive with the American Red Cross, August 21st from 2 to 7 at multiple locations. Everyone who attempts to donate receives a $15 e-gift card. Make an appointment in the Red Cross Blood Donor app or at redcrossblood.org and enter KMOX for a drive near you.
Today, the Cards, the Marlins.
Ameren Total Access 445.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Gashouse Gang is back. You know, every day on the Gashouse Gang is a lot of fun, but Tuesdays we really look forward to with manager Oli Marmol. Bernie and Chris with me. I'm Tom. And Bernie, you know, he really is good. I mean, I meant that. The Rosenthal, and I knew that was coming. You could just tell. Rosenthal on the telecast on Saturday had a report about talking to Mo about Oli, and I thought, oh, I know what's coming. He's going to have a story about this. And that story I thought was really good, and it didn't surprise anybody. Ollie's been very open with us all year.
Yeah, and Ken Rosenthal put him on the spot, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that what we have learned on the Gashouse Gang, you know, was revealed in that interview from the standpoint that Oli will take any question. There's nothing that's going to offend him or bother him or resent you. In fact, you know, when we were talking about doing this, all of us, Oli made it very clear. Hey, hit me with anything, man. I don't care. You know, whatever's on your mind. You ask me about it. I can say without any doubt whatsoever, there's not a lot of managers who are like that. So I really appreciate that about him. But I think people. Yeah, I know it's a subscription site, but people ought to read the interview. It's really revealing, and he comes across as a guy that basically. You know, I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I know what I have to improve. I know that I work on it. You know, it's talking about relationships, talking about being a leader, you know, talking about a lot of things. But the bottom line is he really means it when he says, he's not consumed by how he's perceived. He's not consumed about the idea of losing his job. He gave a great answer when Ken Rosenthal asked him about, listen, as you know, Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols want to manage, and this would be a great job for them. So is this a little awkward for you? And then you got to read it, but Ali basically said no. First of all, I love those guys, but the other thing is, I just have to do my job, and I can't afford to be consumed by everything that other people are saying or speculation. I'm just going to do my job because I owe it to the players and the coaches and everybody else. So it was just good stuff. It was really, really good stuff. I thought it was Ali at his best as far as answering questions head on.
And being honest, as you mentioned, he's been doing that all year with us, and he typically does that anyway. That could be real threatening depending on the front office, depending on who's running it. Some people can find that threatening, just to the stability of the organization. But I don't think they should. I don't think front offices should look at it that way, because one of the, in my opinion, jobs of the manager is to be able to articulate well what's going on. I think it is endearing to people when they think the manager is not just giving canned answers on everything, when they think he's being thoughtful and he's able to explain why he went through this, or why he made this decision, or why this guy is playing, or why this other one is not playing. And I think first and foremost, your loyalty, if you're a team, should be to the fan base. And if you are appealing to the fan base in a positive way, then I think that should be seen as an asset and not a threat. And I don't know how the front office views him. I mean, we hear things. We hear that there is a good relationship there, and that there's a good relationship with Bloom, who's coming in. And I hope it continues that way, because for me, and it's not just because he does this show, it's because I think he is very baseball smart. And I think he can be a huge asset to an organization that has a good roster. And as we know, this roster just hasn't been good enough yet. So I don't know. I hope he sticks around. I hope that, going into next season, at least he's here, and then maybe even beyond that.
Tom, one thing, listen, I feel bad because I say this every time, but I just want people to know, I don't hesitate to criticize Ali on baseball stuff. I don't. I was questioning today about the way they handled the Donovan thing. I happen to disagree with him. He's a manager. I'm a nobody, but I'm just saying. So I don't hold back, and I love the fact that he doesn't care. He doesn't resent the fact that I came at him with that. Okay. The one thing about Ali, and this is coming from someone who has been really hard on him at times, but also try to defend him against stupid criticism. The thing that really bothers me is when fans just casually throw out this crap about, oh, he's just a puppet. Oh, he's just Mo's puppet. He's just a puppet. I can't stress enough how many times John Mozeliak and Oli Marmol talk, and they disagree about stuff. And Ali will push back on whatever Mo thinks is the best way to go. Ali will make the case. They will get into a spirited disagreement, and it happens a lot. They have the kind of relationship where it should be totally honest. And Ali doesn't sit back and, yes, boss, yes, boss. Ali will fight for what he believes in. So I can't stand like these people that are just so irresponsible throwing that stuff around as if it's based on any kind of fact. They have no idea. And by the way, the manager's job has changed. The age of the super beast monster manager, it's over. Bruce Bochy's like the last guy left, right?
Yeah.
And some people would say, well, Tito Francona, but Francona's never been that guy to try to like flex his muscles. He's not that personality. So I don't know what people think a manager is. You're not going to have another Tony La Russa. You're not going to have another Tony Whitey Herzog. What you need to have is a manager who will collaborate with the front office, and that's the nature of the job. But when there's a disagreement, Ali will speak his mind. He's nobody's puppet. Trust me.
And he has a position that they don't up in the front office. He's on the field. He's in the clubhouse. Yeah. He's face to face. He is personality and stat and performance and gut feel and review and all of those things with those players face to face. So he is a valuable resource to them in a lot of different ways. And by the way, he's very close with Chaim Bloom, as he's mentioned. he and Heim are going to disagree on stuff. It's going to happen. You just do. I mean, it's just the way it is. I'll tell you, this is my transition. You ready? What none of us disagree on is that Saliga Heating and Cooling is absolutely a fantastic company. Bernie Miklasz.
Absolutely. And the Miklasz family's been calling the Saliga family for about 17 years now. And this Daikin Comfort Dealer's been taking great care of us. And I can't say I'm surprised because they've been taking care of St. Louisans. The same Saliga family, 4 generations, taking care of St. Louis family since 1927. You talk about credibility. You think you'd be around for 100 years unless you were great at what you did, right? And we have found that firsthand. The thing about Saliga is obviously their knowledge is great. Their professionalism is great. Their problem solving is great. But, with all the choices you can make in this line of businesses or any other line of business for that matter, isn't it nice to be able to trust someone 100%? They're not going to try to talk you into something. They're not going to try to pressure you. They're not going to take advantage of the fact you may not know that much about what they do. That is hard to find. And Saliga Heating and Cooling, 100% trustworthiness and integrity. And as I've told people many times, and I've said it here many times, Saliga with us will work to find us a cheaper solution, a less expensive solution to a problem, rather than try to talk us into something expensive. You can't, that's the type of thing you just treasure when you're dealing with heating and cooling. So if you want to check out all of their services and you want to find out about the Priority Club, a maintenance plan that will save you money by extending the life of your current equipment, just go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
Your home sold guaranteed, or I'll buy it. Hi, I'm Gloria Liu, broker owner at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And for over 20 years, I've been getting my home sellers the most money for their home and selling faster than the average agent. So when you're ready to sell your home or have questions, call me.
And I'm Debbie Monterey. For years, I've been telling you about Gloria Liu and why you should call her. Gloria has solutions and programs for every seller because she understands that every situation is different. Call Gloria and get your free instant home valuation, choose from multiple cash offers, or sell with certainty this summer because Gloria will guarantee upfront and in writing to sell your home at 100% of market value, or she will pay the difference. Hey, the St. Louis market is shifting. Now is a great time to call and get to know Gloria Liu like I have. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
It doesn't take a lot to make a big difference.
That's why we've teamed up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to bring you 100 acts of kindness.
For the next 6 months, the Chris and Amy Show is challenging you to spread kindness in simple, meaningful ways. No big budget needed.
Write a thank you note, help a neighbor, surprise someone with a smile. It all counts.
Let's prove that kindness is contagious. Share your acts with us by using hashtag 100KindActs.
Because a little kindness goes a long way.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend. Oh, my Bob!
Now back to the Gashouse Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling and by Anderson Hospital on 104.1 FM KMOX.
You know, I was laughing because I was thinking Oli will answer every question except realignment. He wasn't going to touch that one,
buddy.
That's pretty funny.
That was maybe my favorite response to any question.
I'm just trying to get Walker to hit over here. Throw all that.
Well, what do you think about realignment? Man, I'm just trying to get Jordan Walker to hit.
It's funny, but Bernie, I will say,
great stuff.
I will say, on the surface, to me, it is incredibly stupid. I'm all for like casual sports or just national sports networks talking baseball. I don't even care sometimes what it is. I just want baseball to be talked about because I feel like it's NFL 24/7. But man, that whole thing, I mean, not only did it start to bore me, but I started thinking about all these little groupings of teams and just tossing away the baseball alignment as I know it.
I agree with you, but the only thing I would say, I'm not pushing back at all. I mean, and I would, if I disagreed with you, I would say so. But the only thing is that I love baseball tradition. Don't get me wrong, I really do. But those standards have kind of been broken time after time after time after time.
Yes.
Interleague play, expanded playoffs. You had the Houston Astros moving to the American League. You had the Milwaukee Brewers moving to the National League. You've had franchise moves that were not justified. You've had a lot of different things. But I think when you talk about they've reduced their own All-Star game because of interleague play, because baseball fans more than any other fan group is really serious about tradition. But when you talk about, in effect, busting up both leagues, I think that's really stupid. I mean, you got to have some vestige of tradition. I mean, can you imagine? Everyone knows the Cardinals are a National League team. Everyone knows the Dodgers are a National League team. The franchises of Musial and Sandy Koufax and everything. No, you don't start breaking that up. You know what? Because if you want to realign, you can realign without destroying what's left of baseball tradition.
I'd like to see the leagues stay pretty close, even if there's a team or whatever that moves over. I think Tampa Bay in that one mock by the Athletic was the only team that moved to a new division or into a new league. They became a National League team. But honestly, I don't care about divisions themselves. Like you said, the Astros used to be in the Cardinals division. As long as they play the Cubs a bunch, I'm good. But it's not like I'm clamoring for these Pittsburgh Pirates series.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Maybe you do it like Major League Soccer where they have all those teams in each conference. There's like 15 teams.
I'm fine with that too, I guess.
I think the Cubs and the Cardinals would like to get away from the Brewers, but that's just me. That's what
No kidding.
Yeah, at this point.
Bernie, thanks as always. Appreciate you.
Love it. Love you
Raj,
guys. Thank you.
Maybe we should call Ken Rosenthal, get him on tomorrow. Just thought.
Yeah.
Get his thoughts on Hein
Get on
and
it,
all
Matt.
that. Thanks for joining us on the Gashouse Gang.
Named one of Newsweek's world's best hospitals for 2020.